Today on Dice to Pixels, we're going to talk about the Stardew Valley 2 update. We're going to talk about Adrian's Skyrim adventures. But first, Adrian's hors d'oeuvres.
Jeffrey.
Jeff.
Yeah. So, in keeping with what I started last week, we have a cat
We have a
visitor.
guest.
Yay, kitties. I have a story about a board game this week.
Ooh.
What if I told you that there was a game called Anti-Monopoloy?
I would play it.
Okay, I'm assuming neither of you have heard of this.
I know there's a Mad Magazine game that's a little bit like that.
Oh, interesting. I didn't actually know about that. That's
Yeah.
cool. I'll have to look that up. So you at home may know about this story. You may not. So in the 70s and 80s, mostly in the 70s, there was a professor whose name was
Ralph Anspach.
Yeah, Ralph Anspach. Anspach, something like that. I'm just going to set my keyboard down here. And created a game that he called Anti-Monopoloy.
Mm-hmm.
So the game itself actually sounds pretty bad, and most of the reviews that I found sort of back that up. The idea was you would start with something that resembled a completed Monopoly game.
Okay.
And then the goal of the game would be to demonopolize it. So turn it back into like a free market system, which is a little interesting because Monopoly isn't really it kind of is the free market system, but we'll ignore that for the second. So basically in the multiplayer version, there would be competitors who were trying to bust the monopolies, and then monopolists, which were trying to maintain the status quo. Rules seem a little janky. I have not played it. I'm going to see if I can get a copy or like create a copy or whatever. But none of that is what the story is about. The story is about how he sued Parker Brothers and won.
What?
Yes. So Parker Brothers sued because he called it anti-monopoly.
Yeah.
As you might expect them to. Hello, Scooter. That's Scooter. So this went to court, and it went through like all the courts. Like it went to the Supreme Court of the United States. Yeah.
Interesting.
Which in and of itself is kind of badass.
Yeah.
This straight up, and he was representing himself the whole time, is my understanding.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So this guy's a bit of a badass.
Yeah.
And so it initially, like, it went back and forth. Like, they won, he won a little bit, they won, Scooter meowed. And
That's a good point, Scooter.
am I going to have to pick you up? Scooter, come here. Bear with us.
Or cat with us.
Cat with us.
It's Scooter.
All right.
There we go.
Yeah, you just wanted to hear the story too.
Yeah.
So what ultimately ended up happening was he basically argued two things. One, he had learned the game before it was bought by Parker Brothers, before it was called Monopoly,
Mhm.
or at least before it became that game.
Yeah.
And two, that the term Monopoly, even as it pertained to board games, was sort of like Kleenex,
Yes.
which is like is such a generic thing that you can't sue somebody for calling your game that.
Mhm.
Fucker won.
Yeah. Well, according to this here, they reached a settlement.
That's on the Wikipedia page, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not clear to me that that's true because from when I was digging, it looks like he won the Supreme Court battle on this. Now, I do believe afterwards, Parker Brothers and him reached a separate agreement to just so that he wouldn't have any other problems, because he was going to do something else that would theoretically also fall in the same thing. And he's like, let's just preempt this bullshit. And so I don't actually think that he did settle per se. I think he won and then also agreed to set up an agreement.
Yeah.
And so basically his statement on the court ruling at the end was essentially based on his reading that the only thing Parker Brothers actually owned about Monopoly was the artwork. Because they didn't own they owned the name, but they couldn't actually like defend the name.
Yeah.
And they didn't own the game because you can't copyright game mechanics, and you can't trademark game mechanics. And it was already in the public domain to an extent before they ever actually like trademarked it.
Yeah, because
It was
Monopoly was originally made
by
like
Quakers or
Yeah,
something. Yeah, it was
way back in the
way,
day.
way old. Yeah.
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 So in all, basically, this guy fought Parker Brothers over Monopoly and essentially kicked their asses,
That's amazing.
which is kind of awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and you can still get this, by the way. So there was the original game Anti-Monopoly, and then he created a slightly updated version called Anti-Monopoly 2,
Mhm.
but then realized that was confusing people, so he just dropped the 2. So if you find the game called Anti-Monopoly, which you can, it's around, that is the most recent version, and apparently it's not very good. We may get a copy and play at some point just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was a fun little story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
also sounds like something that would be made nowadays too.
Yeah.
At least the premise
Okay.
of it.
It's crazy. Yeah. Reached a settlement allowing him to continue the name of Anti-Monopoly distributing the game. It said for a time during the dispute, the game was marketed as simply Anti.
Yes. Yeah. He dropped Monopoly for a little while because like I said, they went back and forth. Like he would win a little bit and then they would win a little bit. So for a while it was just like, okay, to protect my ass for now, I'll call it Anti. And then he ultimately won / settled /
That's
both.
dope. That's crazy.
Yeah. And the fact that from what I saw, I'm sure this isn't probably the case for the whole thing. Like I can't imagine he argued in front of the Supreme Court himself, but
Mhm.
my understanding was that at least for the most part, he was his own representative. So
Interesting.
yeah, kind of a badass.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that was a fun story.
That's dope.
Yeah, I
Right
like
on.
that. Thank you for bringing that. Adrian.
You're welcome.
Delicious hors d'oeuvre.
Yes, Adrian's hors d'oeuvres were quite well this week.
And we still have a scooter.
Yeah,
Yep.
a stuck scooter.
Yeah, she will not get down.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Relentless.
I'll hold her.
I have once again I haven't done any freaking gaming this week because
Yeah.
I've been again just working crazy with the music and the band that I'm in right now. But there's the Stardew Valley 2 update that came out that you were super excited about.
Yeah, well, it's Stardew Valley 1.6 update,
Yes.
and it is fucking huge.
Yeah.
The patch notes were so big. He added a whole buttload of stuff, new dialogue options. You can have multiple pets now. There's new crops.
Multiple wives.
No.
Well, say it into the mic.
Scooter said yes.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Including the thing that I hate. But you go ahead.
I don't know. Well, I'm just like I started a new game with it too.
Yeah, well,
Just so I could-
they recommended that you do that, right?
I
I
didn't
think that
see
was.
anything.
I think
Yeah.
that was I think there was a tweet about it or something.
Oh.
That basically said, like,
I chose to simply because I wanted to
Yeah.
see like where all of this new content comes in. The only thing I've really seen so far myself, and I'm still within like the first week or so.
yeah,
The only thing I've really seen is a new jellyfish type thing in fishing. And
Yeah.
that's it so far.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, you said there was a new farm that you start with a chicken.
yeah,
coop
there's
and-
a meadow farm that you can start off with, and you automatically have a chicken coop and 2 chickens.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I probably should have started with that because I've always wanted to do like an animal only farm.
I was gonna
so-
say, like, if you're gonna start over, why not, right?
I mean, yeah.
Was
Come
it-
I might
on.
just restart again.
Come on.
What is
Sarah.
it? Was it a goby fish that they added?
Oh yes, they added goby fish.
okay.
There's a couple other fish too,
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Blobfish was the one I was thinking.
Yeah.
Of. That was in there before.
and then there you get like surprise boxes now too. You
Yeah.
can actually get. Oh, I have seen another thing. They added carrot seeds finally to grow your own carrots,
Oh, okay.
which I did get a couple seed packs from in the mines, and yeah. Danielle was saying that she's come across some new winter seeds that she's been growing too.
Yeah, she's been playing a fair bit
Yeah.
of the new one. I don't think she's restarted though. I think she just
No,
kept going.
she wanted to keep going with
Yeah.
what she has, and yeah, there's finally an actual map of Ginger Island.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, and then on the map now you can actually see your exact location versus
Yeah.
just like your general area, and
Holy
yeah.
fuck yeah! These
Yeah, I know.
fucking
Yeah,
notes are-
you're on the
holy
official page.
Christ.
I know.
Yeah. So
Which,
I mean,
by the also too, I like their website that it looks exactly like the game.
Yeah.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
kept the theme.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's very visually oriented. He's,
Yeah.
he's doing a great job.
Yeah.
So
I'm just impressed that this is because I know 1.5 was another big update a couple years ago, and just the amount of stuff that he's added in could easily have come a lot of other companies would have released it as like a paid DLC, but he's not.
Or a sequel.
No, well,
Yeah, or a sequel. Yeah.
I think he's sort of taken the same tact as a few indies have, where they've had the major success where they're just like, I now have money for the rest of my life, so I'm just going to make this my passion project.
Exactly. And he's making Haunted Chocolatier as well.
I'm sorry, but when you stopped, I was like, were you about to say chocolate condoms?
Hey,
I was switching things around.
What's wrong with that?
Sorry to almost kill you there.
Christ.
They melt in your mouth, Chad.
Well, ginger ale doesn't.
Yeah. So first of all, like, I'm grumpy about the update for one specific reason, but overall, fantastic, awesome. I'm glad that he's still supporting the game. It's a great game, and I will play some of the update. At some point, we're gonna get back to doing some multiplayer. The thing that annoyed me, and the thing that will continue annoying me, is that he added new like holidays, like events, day events.
Yeah.
And because of the way they're done in the game, where they just completely interrupt the entire flow of the game, I would like to see all of them go away until he decides to recode them so that they are optional.
Most of them are optional. You
Only
don't go-
kind of. Like, a lot of them, it's like, as long as you stay the fuck out of this entire section of the map, it's optional. It's like, that's not really optional.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you just can't fish at the ocean today. Okay. And if you forget, there goes your entire day.
Yeah.
So you're talking about the desert festival?
Well, yeah, there's
That's
like
the
this,
newest one.
the desert festival, and then there's another one, I think.
Oh, a new environmental event in the summer.
Yeah. There's like an Easter event and
there's
like
there's a
fair,
bunch.
yeah.
And like, listen, I know some people love them, and that's fine. And like, hey, I'm not saying like take out the events completely. I'm just saying, like, ask me. Just ask me when I enter that zone. Like, hey, do you want to start the event, or would you rather just have a normal day?
Yeah.
Normal day, please. That's all I want. That's it.
I think that's fair.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
It annoys me when I'm like, cool, I just got to go and visit the blacksmith, and shit, it's the festival. Well, fuck me.
Yeah.
Now I have to watch a bunch of cutscenes that I didn't want, and I can't do it today. I got to do it tomorrow, which means I got to wait until he opens, it's just, with the way the time works in that game, they really should be optional. That's that's my whole thing. But with that said, fantastic that he's doing this much work, and a lot of the update looks really cool.
Yeah.
I was just like, God damn it, more days that you're going to hijack my game? Like, fuck.
Did you see the thing about the sword swing, though?
Weapon
swing.
Yeah.
You actually get a little bit more length that's appropriate for your weapon size. And there's something with like when you're facing downwards, it does something a little bit different.
Yeah.
It's a quality of life thing that people have been wanting for years.
There's a ton of great quality of life stuff. And I do hope that the multiplayer stuff is a little bit fixed in terms of the mines. Because the mines are they're a nightmare in multiplayer. Unless everybody's present. If you all go into the mines, it's super easy. But if anyone, the way that the multiplayer works right now, at least on the servers that people run, the main character and only the primary character has knockback on their blade. Everybody else doesn't, so the monsters just don't behave correctly.
So on our server,
you
don't have knockback?
When Danielle and I go to the mines, nothing works correctly. It makes it like 5 times harder. But for you, it should work normally.
Interesting.
And it's just like it's a problem. It makes the mines, like, you know how easily I blast through the mines.
Yeah.
I was having struggles on the multiplayer server.
I was surprised when I first went in there and you were only at like level like 20 or 40 or something like that. I was expecting you to be done.
I got really annoyed with it.
Yeah.
So I do hope that that's fixed. I didn't check the patch notes carefully enough to know if it is, but it would be great if that was fixed.
Yeah.
So
That would be balance or quality of life.
I'm not sure they'd even mention it.
There's an area that's multiplayer in that.
Oh, it's multiplayer. Okay.
Yeah, way down near the bottom there.
Yeah, I'm literally just skimming through this right now.
We're gonna play some more multiplayer. It is a fun game, and it's fun multiplayer, and I enjoy it. And I will play the new update.
Yeah.
I would just like it if I could skip the fucking events. So
I'm surprised there's got to be a mod for that or something.
I didn't check. There might be.
Mm.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
wouldn't be surprised.
Yep.
And if not, I might be able to make one. But yeah, it would be, that would just make me happy just to have like no, I don't want to do this event today.
Stop.
Yeah, exactly. Just skip. Just I don't care. Especially once you've done them once, right?
Yeah.
Like the first time, okay, fine. But like after that, it's like, I don't want to do this festival again. Leave me alone.
I mean, the spring festival is good if you need more strawberry plants, though.
If you need more strawberry. But once you've got your entire farm kitted out with ancient fruit, you really don't need more.
Yeah, I know.
Hold the FU keys to skip event.
Yeah, right. So yeah, Stardew, super cool. Let us know if you've been playing that. That's it's a fun game, and kudos to indie devs who are sticking behind their product.
Yep.
And I mean, like, and I'm also aware, like, I know Dragon's Dogma 2 just came out. I do plan on getting that and hopefully playing it because reviews have been amazing. It looks freaking great.
Yeah.
But you've been dancing in the
I've been
world
doing
of
a little
Skyrim.
bit of Skyrimming.
Yeah.
Yep, rimming the sky.
Wow.
So what brought me back around? I was telling you guys, but for you at home, all four of you, the Spiffing Brit has been doing a very long playthrough of Can I Survive Legendary plus difficulty for 100 days. And so what he's doing is he's got the Mega Mod Pack, which is like literally, I think it's 12 to 1300 mods. It's over 1,000. And it completely overhauls the difficulty and the items, and it adds entire parts of the map, and it overhauls the dialogue. It's just the whole kit and caboodle. And surprisingly, it plays pretty well together. Like he's only had it crash a handful of times on stream. So these are long streams, by the way. If you're going to go and check it out, they're like 6-hour live streams, and I think this is like the 5th that he's on. So like we're talking like 30 to 40 hours of watching. But it's super cool, and he's great. Spiffing Brit is awesome. That made me think I want to play this because the main thing for me in those mods is that at the end of, in his case, 100 days, I think the default is a year. Alduin destroys the world. If you haven't beaten Alduin by then, he destroys the world. If you haven't beat the game, I should say. I think that's super cool.
Mhm.
So I was going to play that. But when I started up Skyrim, it had been so long since I played that I was like, oh, I should play this through first before I go into that. So I'm doing a vanilla playthrough of Skyrim right now and just being a sneaky archer because I think that's the best character type. Yeah. But we were talking about it and the fact that Skyrim is like, it's probably the best game ever made. Maybe.
Yeah.
One of them.
Yeah.
Like it's certainly in the sandbox genre, no question.
I'd say definitely top 5.
Yeah.
Overall.
It's just they hit it's like the perfect mix of things.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, well, it's so mod friendly, and we were talking about this, and in my opinion, and I think you guys share it too, like it is, in terms of sandbox games, it is the ultimate sandbox game because you can follow the main story if you want. You can do side quests if you want. You could fuck off and just wander around if you want.
Yeah.
Like,
and actually, with the mod pack that he's using, the other really cool thing about it is you don't start the game in the traditional way.
Yeah.
The game starts with you just being a citizen of that area. And then at a certain point, when you want to kick off the main quest, you actually watch the prisoners come in from a third person. Like you're in the inn watching them come in and the whole Alduin coming in. And you watch that as a bystander instead of being involved in it.
I love that.
It's super cool.
I would just, if anything, just use that mod.
Yeah, it's super cool.
It'd be so awesome if there was like a heckle button.
Right.
Like, take his legs, turn over his head, he's a piece of crap.
Start at the knees. So yeah, super cool, really interesting, and just the number of mods that have been made because it's such a great game. And one of the mods obviously like overhauls all the dialogue so that every fucking NPC doesn't say they got shot by an arrow in the knee. Yeah, just like fantastic game, and I'm super enjoying it. Even vanilla, I'm enjoying it. It's just a good game. I hope someday Starfield can recapture some of what Skyrim was, because Starfield was I think it was too underdense for what it was. Like Skyrim is really nice and dense. There's a lot of stuff going on, and Starfield's almost the opposite, where it's like this entire planet has like, in theory, there's a lot on each planet, but in practice, there's like 2 things you care about at most.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Well, and the thing with Skyrim too is like it was contained, right? It was contained in one area, a very big area, sure, but
Yeah.
there wasn't such a shifting change in, like in Starfield. Very repetitive with like, ice planets and all that kind of stuff. Like with Skyrim, it was just, I don't know.
Well, so I think that's where Starfield was the letdown, is if each planet in Starfield was like Skyrim, where it was like there was that much to do on a planet, Starfield
Yeah.
would be like the best game ever made,
Mhm.
plus plus.
Exactly. Yeah.
The problem is that like every planet has like a thing or two, and you're
A
like,
small little area you can
Mhm.
walk around.
yeah.
before
Well, I
you
mean,
have to go to
yeah,
another
exactly.
area.
Before you have to take off
Yeah.
and land again, yeah.
And then go through a loading cutscene.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, and actually the loading scenes, I don't know if maybe some of that you could patch around conceivably. I don't know,
Mm.
but I do think the loading scenes in Starfield have it on the back foot to begin with.
Yeah.
But if each planet had a rich environment with lots of cool stuff instead of just copy and paste of the same goddamn trader.
I wonder if maybe part of the idea with not completely loading it down with content on every planet was to allow for mods.
I hope so. Yeah. Like I do hope in 5 years, everybody's like, oh my God, Starfield is the new Skyrim and
Yeah.
it's so much better and it's so cool. And I hope so. We'll see.
I'm actually curious to see how Light No Fire does.
Yeah.
That's the game where
Yeah.
like the entire world is it's an open world, an actual whole world from the people that made No Man's Sky. I'm after seeing the trailer for that piqued. I know it piqued all of our kind of our curiosities and stuff, but I'll be interested to see more of that one.
Do you have the release date handy there? Or have they even announced the release date?
Don't.
Because yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I don't think they announced one because I think they
Yeah, 'cause
just like did the announcement.
They did a teaser, but yeah, I
Yeah,
don't remember
I
there
don't think-
being a date.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there's no release date yet.
All right.
So-
Well, I'll still be excited for it to come out. And you were saying GTA was delayed. Was
Yeah.
it you or Chad?
Yeah, GTA. So apparently there's been some delays with GTA 6 development. It's falling behind so much so that Rockstar is urging a lot of their staff to return to the office so they can avoid the delay.
Yeah. Because
Um,
going back to the office and having more meetings will definitely solve the delay problem.
Yeah, it has absolutely nothing to do with setting unrealistic expectations for content to be completed in order to release your game.
And they're saying that these delays could potentially cause it to miss its 2025 release window and slip into 2026.
My whole question with GTA 6 is like, we've seen enough of it now that it looks pretty complete to me.
Yeah.
So if all they're working on is quests and shit, like, just work on that as you go.
Yeah, right? Just roll them out.
But I think Rockstar has this like DLC-itis where like everything has to be like a big fucking release with advertising campaigns and everything else. They like seem allergic to the idea of just slowly making the game better. So maybe that's part of the problem. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, because that really can go 2 ways because we've seen it where it's like, yeah, things get better over time, but the fact that it is not what people are expecting to begin with. But I think that's also what they're promising. And so
yeah,
if they come out and say, hey, you're only getting this much so far,
right.
we worked it and it looks great, it plays great this much, you'll get more later. That's to set expectations. But if they're saying, hey, you're getting this, 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 and this, and then it's not there, that's when you get bomb games. So
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure that if Rockstar came out and said, hey, we've got GTA 6, it's complete from an engine perspective and everything else. You can get in there and you can like beat people up and get a wanted rating and like, fight tanks when they come after you and, go and pick up prostitutes and stuff. I'm willing to bet that like 80% of the GTA fan base would be like, that's cool. We can wait for the quests.
Yeah.
We'll have fun. And then like, we'll get to it down the line.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. But I feel like most people with GTA, they don't give a shit about the quest lines.
No.
Well, that's not fair, but like that's not their main thing with the game. It's like, cool, we'll play the main quest, but really we want to fly a jet into, a tank and
Yeah,
whatever.
so what you're bringing up seems like it's more of a thing between playing GTA, the storyline, versus
Yeah.
GTA Online.
Well, or just sandbox. Like I played hours and hours and hours of like San Andreas and stuff, and it was never online. I just,
Mhm.
I'm going to go and like fly the plane over the city and then bail out and parachute onto a roof because why the fuck not?
And that's basically what you can do with GTA Online.
Oh,
too.
I know. Yeah, yeah.
You just have your own character.
Yeah.
Yeah, so according to Bloomberg in Aftermath, back in February, following the numerous leaks and stuff, Rockstar Games was mandating its employees to return to work 5 days a week in the office beginning in April. The short notice and drastic change caught many by surprise and has led to frustration from staff who feel like they are being pushed out after being hired remotely. Security and quality are reportedly the main reasons Rockstar is insinuating the mandate to return to the office, but they were told by sources who wish to remain anonymous that the development started falling behind, and leadership was nervous that they would miss their 2025 window and slip into 26. At the moment, they're still aiming for it to come out spring 2025. But if that doesn't happen, it'll be fall 2025. And if that doesn't seem to happen, then the last end all be all is 2026.
Sorry, if they're claiming that it might slip into 2026 if they don't do this in April, it's already slipped into 2026.
Yeah, pretty much.
Give me a fucking break.
Yeah.
Definitely forcing people that you hired remotely to come into the office won't have any issues with your throughput or quality at all. That'll work perfectly, guys.
Yeah.
And I mean, the game's going to come out. People are going to buy it. It's going to be great. You know, it's
well, people
inevitable.
will buy it whether it's great or not.
It's
They'll-
inevitable.
Yeah. I think more than anything, it's just more important to me personally, and I know Chad would probably prefer it too, and I assume Adrian as well. Release a finished product. No matter when it comes out, just release a finished product.
Yeah, whatever it is, whether like I don't care if it's just the base game without a lot of questing or whether you have a fully fledged kick-ass storyline, just don't release half-ass.
Yeah.
Nope.
Don't release a story that's half complete
Yep.
and don't release an engine that doesn't work.
If you have to delay it for another year, oh well,
That's
fine.
fine.
I can
Yeah,
wait. There's
whatever.
other stuff to play. It's not like it's going to affect me buying it. So
Right. Yeah.
And if
GTA
you-
Online is doing just fine.
Yeah.
And if you're a PlayStation owner and you don't have the money to spend on Dragon Dogma 2, then get Hi-Fi Rush because it's fucking great.
yeah.
Yeah. Real quick, we're not going to talk about it today because we're out of time anyways, but we did see at least I did see the announcements or the leaks about the PS5 Pro and the new Xbox and the modest spec bump and how silly it sounds. My whole thing would be just let's wait and see if that's true because that seems unlikely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yippers.
But with that, I assume we're pretty much
Yeah,
we're at time.
All right, we'll let you go, and
I'm going to play some freaking games. I swear to God.
Chad's gonna play some games. I'm gonna play some more trains in Skyrim. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Sarah's gonna play some Stardew.
Damn right I am.
And I'm going to play some guitar too. So, yeah.
Yay, Jeffrey!
Yay.
Anyway, have a good week, folks.
We love you all.
Love ya.